We are just south of Pioneer Square here in the great northwest city of Seattle at newly named Lumen Field, home of the 12s. Today on to Week 15 in the NFL, and we've got a good matchup in store, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Seattle Seahawks.
The ball on the tee. We're set for football. And off we go from Seattle.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
They'll run. It's Kenneth Walker.
And the maneuvers win forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5. And it was the visiting Seahawks who were victorious in that one. So they now look for the sweep here back home in Seattle.
Come on.
Operating from the gun. Samuels. Looking left side. He's got it complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 22 yards on the catch and run. A 1st down. They'll run the toss to Walker. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Talk about so far so good. Right now they are purring like a high-quality sports car. You name it, they're getting it done. What's the definition of balance? Doing what you want to, when you want to. They're doing it through the air and on the ground.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year.
And the Seahawks are on the board first here this afternoon.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20.
Looking to put a drive together.
Go! 18 Cardinal.
The drive will begin with a run by Benson.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
You talk about this Seahawk defense.
And they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
This secondary has really developed into one of the strengths of this team. They diagnose, they cover, they run, they hit. What a nice team.
They'll go again with Benson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
But we certainly had a nice conversation with the defensive coordinator, didn't we? And what we heard, I like what we did, but we definitely need more pressure on the quarterback this week.
They need 2. Here's 3rd down. Now Richardson.
Looking left side, and he's got him in. That's Benson. And he is going to lose yardage here. They call it a loss of a yard there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And that'll cross midfield here, not by much. Out of bounds just on the other side of the 50.
46-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Caught on the left side by Benjamin. And all the way down to the 5. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Here's Walker. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 of the 6. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Operating from the gun, Samuels. Touchdown! 5-yard touchdown. And the Seahawks are off to a 13-0 first quarter lead. They're going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Extra point splits the uprights. And that'll make the score 14-0.
Cardinals, nothing.
The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And he's going to get this across the 20 as he's out of bounds at the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. That'll be marked as a 27-yard pickup.
1st and 10 at the 50-yard line.
Richardson going to move him around.
19 Charger, 19 Charger.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throw left side complete. That's Benson. Still going inside the 20. And he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. A huge play there on the screen pass. 44 yards. Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's 1st and goal just outside the 5.
At the 6-yard line.
Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Nicholson. He'll get only 2 there, and it's 2nd and goal.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Second and goal from inside the 5.
Come on, come on. Hey. 70 Timberwolf. Ready, ready.
Trick throw completed by Richardson. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Now they'll line it with something else.
3rd and goal.
Let's go.
Benson. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on 3rd.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
No movement from the field goal unit. They've got 4 full yards to go here on 4th and goal to hit pay dirt, but they're going to go for it.
Ready.
Richardson looking to throw.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
Zach Charbonnet
From 4 yards out.
And the Cardinals take the chance on 4th and goal, and it pays off with 6. Extra point by York is up and good.
And that'll make our score 14-7. The Cardinals setting out to kick this one away, and off we go.
And that one not returnable. It's over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 30-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Ready. Empty Cardinal.
Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it.
And he's got Smith and Jigba.
And he's got this down to the 35. They get 17 on that one, move the chains, first down Seahawks.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. Back to throw. Samuels.
Rifles one, that's going to be intercepted.
And now off to the races down the right side. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Well, that's going to change the course of things. They had a good drive work and a chance to really open things up here in the first quarter. Instead, the defense, they got exactly what they needed.
Yeah, they certainly did, because making that type of a play gives them confidence moving forward and maybe makes them a little more reticent on the offensive side of the ball.
Because if the touchdown had gone the other way, this thing could have started to get ugly early.
Extra point by York is up and good.
And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away.
And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30.
35-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway.
Ready.
They had that 14-0 lead, but that has evaporated as they go to work here 1st and 10. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Nick Bolton there on the tackle.
Brings up 2nd.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough at run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the back area.
And complete to Smith and Jigba.
And he's going to be brought down on
what will be the final play of this first quarter. Pretty entertaining start. 14-all the score on EA Sports.
Ready, break! Go! Bronco 80! Panther 11! Panther 11! Street! Street!
Back to throw now on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. Will go down as a gain of 6. And it's second down. The Seahawks at 10-3 on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Ball on the 47-yard line. Here's 2nd and 4.
Come on, come on.
Looking to throw. Samuels. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
And that's where you're counting on a receiver's size being an advantage. They were hoping he could go up the top of a smaller DB and haul that one in. A good thought, but that time it didn't work out.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Now a draw play. It's Walker. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. So as they talk it over, we step aside. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And that'll skip out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17-yard line.
17-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now.
A gain of 10 yards.
His first catch there, good for 10 yards and a first down. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Now Richardson going to shift things up.
Ready.
He's going to be down at the 35, gain of 7. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Ready.
They run over center with Benson. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
And Brandon, you know that expression, he just does what he does? It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL, and all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key first downs and big runs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Ready. Gotta be lying.
Now it's Richardson. Open man here is Benson. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And it's 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack is a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
They just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
Here we go, here we go.
Richardson. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. Only able to gain a couple there. And it'll be second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
Richardson looking to throw this. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Benson. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
Yeah, big play there. And when you have a running back that you can use like a wide receiver, when he has that kind of versatility, you do as they did there. Get him out of the backfield and give those defensive backs something else to worry about.
From the shotgun, Richardson. Coleman has it here right side. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
14 more
Another
yards.
good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
First and 10 at the 13-yard line.
From the 13 now, they work on first and 10.
Come on.
There, Richardson back to throw it. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. Here's a second and 8.
A gain of 2. Brings up second
And
down.
they'll shift things around.
Seahawks 11-yard line.
Ready.
Again, it's Richardson. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Here's Richardson to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Cardinals have taken the lead. And in the red zone, I guess this is why you have a guy like that on your roster.
Without a doubt, and if you have him, you use him because he's a guy who's going to win just about every time. I don't care what the coverage is.
Extra point by York is up and good. And the lead is now 21-14.
Seahawks 14.
The Cardinals set now to kick this one away, and off we go. And that one not returnable, not by a long stretch, over the back line of the end zone, so that's going to be spotted up at the 35-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They'll look for a drive to tie this up, down 21-14 as they have it first and 10. Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Ready, ready.
Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. Straight ahead, Walker. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. Here's 3rd and 6.
7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Hey, smash. Hawk 70, Hawk 70.
Back to throw. Samuels. Benjamin's got it. The
Cardinals forced to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Well, it looks like they got what they wanted. They got the completion, but they weren't able to break any tackles or gain nearly enough yardage to pick up the first down. Now to be 4th and short.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Yeah, he was looking for the check out bounce, didn't get it. That scoots all the way into the end zone now for a touchback. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense.
Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
19 Lions.
Back to throw. Here's Richardson. He finds his man. Complete. It's Benson. And down he'll go at the 25. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Ready, set.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
Get it. 18 Rattler. 18 Rattler. Ready.
Richardson, shotgun on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Richardson going to change the play here.
An 8-yard pickup. First down, Cardinals.
Shot 60. Shot 60. Dragon 60. Ready.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. Now 2nd and 5. Not liking the look. They'll change the play.
2nd and 5. At the 38-yard line.
From the 38, Richardson. Throwing left side here, and it's complete.
13 yards.
A good pickup, but it will come on what should be the final play in this first half.
1st and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Now the clock will stop as he's able to get up and spike it here. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit.
A 65-yard attempt.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break.
14.
The Cards with a lead, and they will get this football first as the second half gets started. And he'll be stopped up at the 25.
And 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. As this offense takes the field to begin the opening drive of the second half, Charles, remember in that first half, good through the air and really all around an outstanding offensive performance.
Absolutely. They reached the end zone several times. The passing game working awfully well, and most importantly, Absolutely, partner.
And they went to the tunnel with a lead. They come back out with that lead.
Absolutely. NFL coaches, we know they're perfectionists in a lot of ways, but they had to like what they saw in that first half.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go. Here we go.
They'll send the tight end in motion left.
60 Eagles. Ready, right?
From the 30 on 2nd down, Richardson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. So they'll wind up losing 5 yards on the play. And that brings up 3rd and a full 10 yards.
70. 70, Timber Wolf. 18, Pioneer. 70 Ranger, 70 Ranger.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. From the gun on 3rd down, Richardson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
First down. A gain of 14.
Let's go now.
First down, Arizona.
Cougar 19.
Richardson out of the shotgun. He finds his man, complete. It's Spencer. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath rush, just trying to free up some space. And it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
Good sure hands there from a guy not accustomed to catching a whole lot of passes. But how about the way he was able to pull that one in and pick up good yardage?
19 tight, 19 tight. Go. Ready.
And Richardson looks to throw once more. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
35-yard line.
Go.
Looking to throw. Richardson. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there.
A 9-yard gain on the play. And it's 3rd down.
Ninth play coming up here on this drive. This is 3rd and a yard.
Here we go. 60 Maverick. 6 Cowboy 80. Ready, right?
Back to throw. Richardson. And the throw there going to be incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's that locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it.
Get it. Viking 18.
And they just did not get the snap away in time. Of course, that flag accepted, and it backs the ball up 5 yards. Cade York on now for the field goal. It'll come from the right hash. It's a 47-yard attempt. York able to send this one through. And the lead works its way up to 10, 24-14. Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
And a good effort on the return there. Gets them across the 30, up to the 33.
33-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together.
Ready. 18. Trap on 80. Hey, we're going to use them. Ready.
Throwing to start the drive. Samuels. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
We sit in quarter number 3 out in Seattle. A 2nd and 10 now. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
It's a gain of 6.
It looks like they'll move things around here. Now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Let's go. Hawk 70. 60 Bison. 60 Bison. 60 Bobcats. 60 Bobcats.
Operating from the gun. Samuels. Oh, this will be incomplete. The rush gets home just as he was letting that go. That could have been worse. Instead, it's 4th down.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback.
20-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
Richardson going to move him around. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. They hold him to only 2 there on the screen. It's 2nd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
From the 33, here's a 2nd and 8.
Top low 18. Ready, go. Cougar 19.
Operating from the gun, Richardson. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And his guy's now an extra point away from taking a 3-score lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line.
At their own 21-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Here we go. Start. Ready, right?
Looking to throw. Samuels. Here's Benjamin with a catch. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A very nice pickup of 33 yards.
At the 44-yard line.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go. Here we go.
Back to throw. Samuels. And no hesitation. He goes right back to Benjamin. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. Well, that one drops down incomplete. Good coverage there. Forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards. So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now they'll change things up. Again, he'll drop to throw. That is caught at the 7. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Charles, did I just hear that right? They declined the personal foul. 3 yards, they just declined them.
And I have to think that the official is thinking to himself, did I just hear that correctly, that you declined that one? All I can think of is that someone on the field got confused. Because it had to, because you're going to take the yards on that penalty each and every time.
We're off to the 4th quarter here in Week 15. Happy holidays to all. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line.
A big loss on the play.
Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
Ready up.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Looking to throw. Samuels. That is caught inside the 5. Really nice gain on the completion. However, still 3rd and goal that they face now.
It's now 3rd down and goal.
Go.
They'll try to run this one in. And that one going nowhere from the start as he's met in the backfield and goes backwards. The Cardinals forced to burn their 3rd and final timeout. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this 4th quarter. And a field goal obviously means nothing here. They're going to go ahead and go for it on 4th down.
Cougar 19. Ready.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He finds Smith and Jigba in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. 4 yards on the touchdown grab. And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you kept them at the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
Seahawks 21.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And he's able to get it across the 20 to the 25-yard line.
At their own 25-yard line.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
How good has he been throwing the football, though? And despite that incompletion, that's just the 3rd time he's been off target this entire game.
And, Brandon, I've been on the other side of this equation, trying to defend a guy who's been this hot, and it chips away at your confidence. And when you're not confident when you're trying to defend, it makes you slower to the football.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Inside the 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Well, dare I say it, it's kind of quid pro quo. Both defenses now with an interception return for a touchdown.
Your vocabulary, sir. Well done.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead is down to a field goal now.
Makes the score Cardinals 31, Seahawks 28.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
At their own 18-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And now this 4th quarter becoming very interesting. That pick 6 makes this a 1-score game. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how aggressive they choose to be. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Good push from the offensive line, and they've done well so far to build this lead. Now, they've got to get things to the finish line, and that's a solid pickup there to begin the drive.
From the 25, here's a 2nd down and 4.
Come on, Warriors 70, Cowboy 80, Buffalo 18, go!
Now Richardson. Throw left side complete. That's Coleman. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35.
That's good.
It's a gain of 11 and a Cardinal first down.
A gain of 11 on the play. First down,
19
Cardinals.
Lions. Ready? 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. Ready?
Richardson working from the gun. This is Coleman with the ground. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. The extra effort after the catch makes it good for a gain of 26 and also a first down.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a second and long.
Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Now Richardson going to shift things up.
60 Maverick, 60 Maverick. 19 tight, Mustang 19.
They'll look to throw again. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Coleman. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Okay, ready?
Here we go, 3rd and 1. Gut check time on both sides.
Head.
He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down of the yard.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
Ready?
And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1.
Hey, Chris.
And they'll send the tight end in motion here.
Ready?
They'll try and run for it. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, here's where team football gets tested a little bit, because I know the defensive guys were over there chilling on the sidelines, and all of a sudden, they heard the sudden change call because that fumble puts them right back on the field, and they've got to go out and finish the game now themselves.
Absolutely. Nursing that slim lead here in the 4th, a costly turnover. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Let's go. 60 by.
Back to throw. Samuels. Now they go screen. It's complete. And he'll be out right at the 35. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
Well, it certainly appears to me that the defensive guys are starting to look a little bit tired, while he still has some fresh legs. Not the biggest gain we've seen on a scramble, but still, some positive yardage on a play that initially looked like a sure win for the defense.
And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Looked like both sides were anticipating a quick throw there, and the defense was ready to jump in and deny it, and they did.
They'll come to the line now on a 3rd and 6.
Ready? 70 Lions.
Operating from the gun. Samuels. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Less than 2 to play with just a field goal separating these two sides. Here we go. This is 4th down.
Here we go. Set. Hawk 70. 70 Rangers. 70 Rangers.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Cardinals will now take over with excellent field position. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. How about
I just love how they're going about trying to finish off this game. This is not an offense that's going to go into its shell. They're going to keep exploiting weaknesses where they see them. And that's a huge pickup there with the game in the balance.
Richardson looking to throw it.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there. And now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal.
Warriors, 19 tight, 19 wide. Let's go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll try to run with Benson.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. This to swell the lead to 6.
York able to send this one through.
And that will double their lead as it's up to 6. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. Oh, a good-looking return set up here.
And a nifty return there all the way across the 40.
And when you're facing a deficit on the scoreboard, you're just looking for something to get you right back into the game, and that's the spark that they were looking for. They got it with that big return.
Ready.
Here's 1st and 10.
79 Broncos.
Back to throw. And this is incomplete. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like that there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
He completes it to Stewart. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
19
at the 47-yard line.
They'll look to throw. Going deep for Benjamin. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
They'll try again here. 2nd and 10.
Dragon 60.
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Here now, 3rd down.
Down. Ready?
Now Love. That's going to sabotage their comeback plans. It is intercepted.
A tone setter on defense. They pick off the first pass. I had to look down, but yeah, no interception. interceptions last week, so they made up for lost time.
Boy, did they ever. And when you pick off the first pass of the game, you talk about a tone setter. Now your whole entire defense is thinking, okay, when do we get our next one? Can't wait to get back out on the field and get after it.
So it's a win here for the Arizona Cardinals. And say what you want about Lumen Field here in Seattle, but for my money, this